Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Spirit Guide message reading for you. Now, this reading is undated because I am of the firm belief that whenever you come across it is the exact moment that your Spirit Guide wanted you to hear this message. If this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive right in. What I'm going to be doing first, as always, is moving the Spirit Guide animal cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the traditional tarot to give more depth, more insight, more understanding to what Spirit is saying, and these two just work so beautifully together that I love the combination. And what I'm going to be doing is shuffling your botanical oracle cards and moving your chakra and your tarot cards off to the side for just a moment. So let's see now what Spirit has in store for you, Aries. What message Spirit has for you. Spirit Guide message for Aries. 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 Ooh, goodness, that was loud. Spirit Guide message for Aries. Show me clearly. All right, fantastic. Okay, so Spirit really wants nourish and brighten to be a part of your existence during this time. Making sure that you can see those. Okay, fantastic. So you're nourishing and brightening yourself, your soul, your energy, the way that you are looking at things, and then let's see what your chakra cards have to say. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Aries. Spirit Guide message for 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 Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly. Okay, this one right here, which is meditation. And that is the crown chakra. And this one right here, which is communication. Actually see you guys meditating a lot on the way that you will be communicating with people. You know, sitting there and really thinking about your words, thinking about the way you want people to perceive you and look at the situation and look at you. There's going to be something where you kind of step back and you're like, wow, this is really important. And you're going to see the importance of this situation during this time. And Spirit is saying that it's not bad to say, I need to take time thinking about this, or I need to connect with you, Spirit, before I make this decision. It's actually going to be very, very, very impactful for you. So let's see what your tarot has to say. Spirit Guide message for Aries. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly. Fantastic. So at the heart of everything, Aries, you have the Knight of Wands, which is you. You are shining through as a knight, as a defender. You are represented by the Wands in the minor arcana, by the Emperor in the major arcana. You're crowned by the Three of Cups. Then we have the Two of Swords, the Temperance card, which is also a Sagittarian energy, a time frame November 22nd to December 21st. You have the Fool. Oh, I love that. Starting off on a journey, a new way of looking at things. The Two of Cups. I love that progression of two with you right in the middle. Again, this talks about communication. This talks about working with others. And then you have the Ace of Swords, God's Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of knowledge and of understanding. You have the Tower, which I know freaks people out. Don't be worried. It's actually a really good thing. The King of Pentacles is right next to you. So you're defending your passion, your creativity, but there's also a sense of prosperity around you. This can also be you working with an earth sign energy, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, and an earth sign energy may be very important to you. during this time of when you're listening to this reading, but it's also saying here that you are embracing communication, change, passion, understanding, and prosperity, being really grounded within what you want and where you're headed and what you're thinking about. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is a gift that you are definitely taking, a gift of prosperity, of abundance, of the way you want to move forward in a situation and the way you want to be seen by others, right? As you embrace success, as you embrace bounty, as you really stand on your own 2 feet and move forward. So this is really quite beautiful. And I know these cards are tiny, so they're a little bit harder to see, but I will be holding them up one by one. But I do want to talk about your botanical cards and your chakra cards for just a moment. So we have here meditation. Meditation is really important. And I did have somebody ask me in the comment section below, and I don't remember which sign it was for, but why is meditation and tarot always linked together? And it's because there's a stillness in listening that is so important. When you deal with tarot, you listen to spirit. And as you listen to spirit, you have to calm the chaos of the world. You have to move forward in your truth and in your understanding of things and really listen to your intuition. And that's what separates a good reader from an okay reader or somebody who's between somebody who has been doing this for a while. And so here it is that ability to listen, which is something that's really important in this world and which I feel very strongly that people don't do anymore. They or have a harder time doing than before. They don't listen, they speak, they react, but really listening to what the other person is saying and the emotional connection to what they are saying is going to be very important. So this meditation, this centering yourself with spirit is kind of going to be your superpower. And it is going to be a way where, because you are so good at acting, because you are so good at action is what I mean. I don't mean acting like being a player on a stage. I mean acting as in putting into action what you want and what you need and using your tenacity of self, because you are represented, Aries, you are represented by the god of war in Greek mythology, and you are represented by the emperor, by the one who takes control of a situation. That's where you feel really comfortable, even if it's just you're the leader of your friend group, you're the leader of your family. You take great pride in being that strong force. It doesn't mean that you have to take everything over, but it does mean that you have a very strong presence. So with meditation, you will soften that presence just a bit to be more in line with what people need instead of being so forceful that maybe some people kind of shut down. And that can be a very specific message for a very specific Aries. So through meditation, through contemplation with self, through a healing and a cleansing of your crown chakra, what it is that you want, really focusing on the thoughts and the way that you want to move forward, you are going to be able to communicate rather telepathically with people. And I don't mean that you're going to just be able to talk mind to mind, but you're going to be able to go into a situation and have an intuitive sense of what's going on, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's needed, what's not needed. You are going to feel like, wow, I've summed up a situation before it's even said to me. Now, that might get people annoyed because they might be like, well, did you have this conversation with this person? And your immediate mentality will be, why? Why would I have this conversation? They're not going to listen. I already know how it's going to go down, and they're going to see it as assumptions. And it's not assumptions. It's actually really valid if they could just understand, but they're not on the same vibrational wavelength as you. So why would they understand? Here, in compassion, in understanding, you are going to move forward in communication. And that's also going to be the way that you move forward with your spirit guide during this time. You are going to have the sense of mentally being able to just kind of see things, understand things. Spirit will talk to you. Spirit usually talks, well, my experience with spirit usually talks in the form of imagery, and then it progresses. It can be words, it can be, different ideas coming to you, and you have to kind of work out the way spirit is communicating with you, because during this time, spirit will be communicating quite a lot. And this is a spirit message, so that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see spirit communicating with you and helping you move forward. Healing and cleansing your throat chakra will be highly beneficial. This can be through, a chakra cleanse on YouTube. You guys know that I love the Tibetan singing bowl cleanses. And if you listen to those, or if you just focus on your throat chakra, which is located in the middle of your throat, seeing it be vibrant, beautiful blue light all around your throat is going to be the most prosperous way to see yourself moving forward and to see yourself healing and cleansing that chakra. Now, the crown chakra can be represented as white. It can also be represented as purple, whichever color you feel more comfortable with. Within these cards, it's white. And if you just see that white light or that purple light shining around your head, clearing away the clutter, the worry, the doubt, the fear, the nagging thoughts, that's going to be something that is very powerful for you, because you will also find during this time that you have thoughts coming at you, you have things coming at you, and you might not feel really comfortable because there is so much that needs to be done. There's so much that you're sitting there and you're looking at. And this is why you need to nourish yourself and your soul. And you have here the plantain. And as you nourish yourself, your soul, the way that you want to see things, you're going to find that there is a lot that you can do from that nourishing of self, that there is a better sense of you, a better sense of power, a better sense of understanding. And this leads you to calendula. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all, but this leads you to brightening your life. This leads you to brightening your soul. This leads you to brightening what you want in your existence and in yourself. And there is a sense of feeding yourself, nourishing yourself with the plantain, with the brightening of what you want. So you are nourishing yourself with brightening things. So what I'm really seeing here is that Spirit is saying, if you could eat more vegetables, more things of the earth, okay, that's actually going to really help you. Especially if, when you're listening to this, the time of the year that you're in is a little bit dark, a little bit gloomy. By drinking a lot of water, by eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're actually going to find yourself empowered. And I would also say take vitamin D during this time. Now, I'm not a healthcare professional in any way, shape, or form. This is just what Spirit is saying. Before you do this, check with your doctor if it is okay, and if this isn't right with you, you don't have to do it at all. But I'm just seeing what Spirit is saying. So there is going to be adding a brightness to your life, a passion to yourself, a way that you want to move forward. And this is going to help you defend what it is that you want, because you are represented here by the Knight of Wands. This is right at your heart. This is your defense. I love the hawk with his knight's helmet on. I mean, there's just such a power to you. And what I love is that at your heart right here, you're really dealing with practical matters. You have the Knight of Wands, which is you, also a strong Sagittarian energy, because Sagittarius is also represented by the wands in the minor arcana. There's a strong sense of determination, of self. You're going to have a way with people, though, that is going to be highly beneficial to you. Because Aries, as I said before, you can be a bit forceful because you are the Emperor. You are the force. Temperance is all about the balance that represents Sagittarius in the major arcana. It's all about the balance. It's all about the understanding and the transformation through that balance. So what you're seeing here is a defense of what you want, a defense of the way that you're moving forward, and this leads you to prosperity. This leads you to bounty. This really leads you to claiming wealth, or what you value as much as money. And there's something here that you have downplayed within yourself, that you have thought, oh my gosh, I can't be me, or I can't be the real me. That's just so silly. That's just so stupid. Nobody's going to take me seriously, or what I really love to do can never make me money. You're going to start, Spirit is saying that if you start doing it on the side, you can see yourself really start to grow. And let yourself shine through. Let your power, your truth, your quirkiness shine. Because everybody's weird, everybody's individual. And if you let that shine, that's going to be something that really attracts people to you. There's a sense of power, there's a sense of determination to you, but there's also a sense of just astounding authenticity that people are going to be really drawn to during this time. And Spirit is saying, let it shine. Let it shine. Don't hide yourself away. So many people, they want to just conform. And I remember being one of those people so much. I just wanted to be like everyone else. And when I tried, it just didn't work. And that's what Spirit is showing me. It's like trying and it's just not working. So here, be you and embrace that passion, embrace that power, embrace that determination. You can be helped by an earth sign energy, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. Now, this could be in a very positive way. And I'm seeing for a lot of you, it is in a very positive way. This person hands you a gift and it's astoundingly positive. It's astoundingly bountiful. But this can also be in a negative way. This can also be a person handing you a gift that comes through a rather harsh lesson, that comes through pushing you out of your comfort zone, that comes to you, and you first look at it like, oh my gosh, this isn't okay. Oh my gosh, I can't possibly do this. Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on here? But by pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, or by saying to that person, no, this is me, and this is who I need to be, you get that power of that elephant coming in. You fly as high as a hawk. You have that keen sight, that keen understanding, but you also have this steadiness, this majesty, this sense of being able to see so much more. And what I'm seeing here with this elephant imagery, and what I love about elephants is that they never forget. you can have the skull of an elephant, and that herd will come and they will mourn that elephant. They'll be able to pick it out, not by any physical, well, I guess it is physical, but not by anything that, I personally can understand. But I don't know about you. Maybe you can understand it, but they can know just from the skull. And that is amazing to me. And you're just going to know. You're just going to know from the bare bones of it. And that's what Spirit is showing me. And that is something that I find breathtaking. And this moves you to the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups, I always read the Three of Cups as somebody that you were supposed to be able to trust, somebody that you had once trusted. Can you see that? Okay, I hope you can. Somebody who you had once trusted, they've betrayed you. And now you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh. And the blue around it really correlates to the communication here, to the throat chakra. There is a sense here of, oh my gosh, can I do this? Can I move forward the way that I want to? Is this okay? You're going to be really questioning yourself. That situation's going to come back up and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I was so foolish. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. You're going to be hard on yourself. But this situation is going to be replaying. The thing is, Aries, is that this situation happened to move you forward. And here, know your truth, know your power, know what it is that you desire, and do not let anybody have dominion over you. Any negative situations, and even any positive situations. Let yourself move forward, judged within the moment that you are in, and judged within the power of you, because what this brings is, if you dwell on this too much, it brings in the tower time. It brings in the sense of the falling, the crumbling. And what you're not going to see is that this tower time is actually magnificent, because a tower time is divinity pushing you out of your comfort zone. It's divinity saying, you can't stay here anymore. I know that this is kind of like the devil that you know, and it's easier than what comes next. But what I'm seeing here is, I'm actually seeing, Spirit is giving me the imagery of me working. And I was, working, I had a goal, but it was just miserable. I was miserable. But that is what I knew. Okay? And I didn't think that this would even be plausible. This channel would be plausible. I hate public speaking. I remember when I did my first video, I cried and cried and cried. And then I did it, and then I had 11 more to do. So it pushed me out of my comfort zone so terribly hard. And here, that's what I'm seeing. It doesn't feel like a blessing. It feels almost like a curse. But what it is a blessing from divinity. And divinity is saying you have to be pushed out of your comfort zone because something magnificent lays before you. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be, dedication. It's going to take time. But there is something beautiful waiting for you. But if you stay in complacency to what society says that you're supposed to do, you will never get to the place that you were born to be. And Spirit is saying it's time to walk that truth. It's time to embrace that path. It's time to see the old you crumble. And remember, each and every day, we are reborn. We are renewed. So see yourself rising from the ashes. And I know people say, why do I have to rise from the ashes? Why does it have to be hard? And I love the quote from Katharine Hepburn. Because she is one of my favorite actresses, because she is just blunt and to the point, and I respect that in people. And she said, living is the hardest thing you'll ever do. After all, it kills you. And here, that's the truth. That's why you have to rise from the ashes, because it's not an easy road being on this earthly plane. It's not easy, but it's powerful. And if you rise, then you succeed. And that's what I'm seeing here. Something changes, and it's around this negativity. It triggers you. It's like something happens where you sit there and this situation comes up or this person comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, why? Why do I have to be reminded of this? Why does it have to be so hard? And Spirit is saying, because I have plans for you. And if this is the roadblock that stops you, will you be able to succeed in the path that I want you to succeed at? Will you be able to move forward the way that you need to move forward? And here with the Fool card, it's like, hells yes. I mean, excuse my language, but yes, you will be able to succeed. You will be able to move forward. It's like absolutely, positively, and divinity gives you this gift of prosperity, abundance, power, truth. And with the Ace of Pentacles, this is God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, saying, this is for you. And you take it like a king. So you take it and you say yes. Now with a king card, this does not mean for me, masculine or feminine. It means for me the actor upon the stage. You are seen, Aries, during this time as somebody prosperous. And Spirit is saying, handle that prosperity wisely. Handle the truth that you are walking into wisely, because what's going to be happening is you're starting a new journey, you're starting a new chapter, and you want the first paragraph to be very gripping, and you want the opening scene to be very gripping, but you also want it to be moving forward in your truth. You want this chapter to be what you desire, instead of the making of somebody else. So here with the Fool, you're moving forward towards something new. And you might be doing it, and you most likely are doing it, with a sense of wide-eyed innocence, the sense of, oh my gosh, this is my passion, this is what I desire, I can't fail, because you have this puppy here. And that, or, yeah, it looks very much like a puppy. And so there is the sense of, oh my gosh, I know, and I'm trusting, and I'll move forward, and it'll be wonderful. You will meet with roadblocks, and that's where divinity wants you to know, I'm giving you a gift of prosperity. Do not let those roadblocks define you. Do not let the pain and the sorrow and the apprehensions be your defining force, because you have the Two of Cups here. You have the Minor Arcana Lovers card. You have the green water falling, which very much calls to the heart chakra. So this is very much an opening of the heart, the opening of the soul, the opening of the self. And this leads to a temperance. This leads to you rising above, but finding that balance. And there is love here. Now, it can be that you're falling in love. It can be that you work with somebody and that person just gets you in a way that you've never experienced before. And it can be turning into a romantic relationship, or it can be that you have a partnership with that person that is just beautiful. And it can be a friend, it doesn't have to be at work, but this is somebody who makes your work more, okay, so Spirit is saying they don't make your work more proficient, because that's what I was going to say, they make you more prosperous, but they can't make you more prosperous. What they're going to be doing is they're going to be bringing out the best in you. They're going to be building you up, giving you this confidence, giving you this understanding, and as it builds, you thrive. You find your balance, you find your prosperity, you embrace the soul of yourself, you start moving forward, and you're transformed. This is a transformative time, this is a new chapter, this is a new way of looking at things, which leads you to utter prosperity, which leads you to bounty, which leads you to a truth that has been forgotten, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And I love the progression here. The Ace of Swords, 1, and then the Two of Swords, 2. So here you have the Ace of Swords. This is God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of knowledge, of understanding, of truth, and of passion, of this intense knowing of the mind. Right? And that's why meditation is also going to be so important, because this intense knowledge is coming to you and you need to organize things out. It's kind of like when you're writing something, sometimes you need to plan it out first before you can move forward, or when you're drawing something, you need to sketch it out. So here it is like that creative process coming forward for you. And there's a sense here of cutting through doubts and fears, of looking at things more deeply, of trusting your instincts when it comes to things. And here it's going to be permeating kind of every aspect of this time for you. But it's not going to be fully taken yet, fully realized. Your knowledge, your understanding, there's still going to be more that you're seeking. And there are two roads that are really quite clear for you. There are two ways of doing things, and you're like, oh yes, this is it. There are just these two options, and you're going to see that when this gift comes, you're going to see more options, more understandings coming your way, this deeper sense of a fulfillment, of a moving forward, of phases coming forward. And as you embrace that understanding, as you embrace that truth, you're going to see that the two options start to multiply. And that can become overwhelming. You might be like, oh my gosh, too much choice, I can't do this. So you need to step back. But what you need to step back into is this Ace of Swords, is this gift of divinity. Now here, with the pink, I see this calling to the root chakra, all right, to a sense of knowing yourself, knowing your base, knowing where it is that you want to what you want to build off of. And here, with the different avenues opening up, not just seeing two paths, it calls to the heart chakra. It calls to what your heart really wants. It calls to what your soul truly desires. And as it calls to that truth, what happens is you embrace this tower time. You're like, okay, yes, everything is falling apart. Things haven't turned out the way that I wanted to. You can look back and see where it felt like things went astray, or it felt like you did things wrong. Trust that divinity had a plan, and trust in divine detours, because as you trust in divine detours, you start to see yourself claiming that power, and people start really taking you seriously. This is a time where people are listening to your words, where there is a sense of, even if they don't listen to you, they might come back and say, wow, you know what, Aries, you are right. So be very mindful of the way you communicate, because that's going to be the way that you get people to really see the brilliance of what you're saying. Because if you come at it like in a very harsh kind of warrior way, people aren't going to understand you as deeply as they should. If you come to things from the heart, right? Because the tower here, it's falling, has a green roof. There is the green, there's the green roof here. Can you see that? There we go. There are the green ties tying the swords together. Then we have the green in the plume of the feathers. And then we have the green pouring from the cup. So if you come from a place of the heart, from the place of emotional truth and emotional understanding, you enter into prosperity. You enter into this place of like, yes, I can move forward. I can defend what it is that I want. There is an innocence to you, so you have to be mindful of that. Because when I see this innocence, I don't mean like it's just like a blind eye, oh, I'll follow you anywhere kind of thing. It is a sense of, I know my truth. I know where it is that I want to stand. And you're going to be actually warring with the sense of, I know the way that I want to move forward. And I know that absolutely anything is possible at this time. And the hurts and the pains and the failures you have been through before. And those are going to want to anchor you back. Those are going to want to keep you from the brightness shining, from the nourishing of your soul and yourself, and the prosperity that you want. So let's see what your spirit guide animal cards have to say. Aries. Spirit guide message for 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 Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly. All right. And I'm just going to lay these out quietly. I love this. I love the ascending here. I love the strength here. The slow and steady kind of wins the race mentality of this reading. It doesn't all have to be done instantaneously. You are guided forward towards a greater truth if you push it. If you say, okay, I have this time frame, it needs to be done right here, right now, you're going to find that things don't work out as well as you would like them to. You're going to find that you tend to stumble, that things tend not to be as prosperous, as bountiful as you would like them to be. With the turtle spirit, it says, slow and steady wins the race. For you, as the defender, you're going to want to push it. You're going to want to sit there and say, okay, I'm the hawk, I'm flying high, I'm a predator, I go after what it is that I want, I am the knight, I am the defender. And then you have the sea turtle, which is such a contrast. Slow and steady. Sea turtles can live for hundreds of years. And there's just this calm majesty to them. They're actually one of my favorite animals. And there's just the serenity to it, to a sea turtle. And that's what I see here. You're going to have trouble because you're going to have a bit of conflict within yourself, because there's going to be this sense of serenity wanting to come in, this sense of peace, of grounding, of harmony. And then there's going to be this sense of action, action, action. So you need to balance those two. Again, where meditation comes in, to balance those two sides, to make you unstoppable. Because once you step back and you kind of meditate, you center yourself. And then when you go in kind of for the kill, like the hawk will do, you become so forceful, so powerful, and so profound, because you're coming with so much knowledge, so much determination. And it leads you to the electric eel spirit, which says, bring your ideas to life. With the King of Pentacles, with your prosperity, with your bounty, with your truth, you're bringing your ideas to life. And as you bring your ideas to life, you're prosperous. Again, helped by an earth sign energy, but also very practical about things, very grounded, very much a sense of what seeds am I sowing to reap the harvest that I desire? How is it that I'm moving forward? And fire and earth, because you have the you have the Knight of Wands and you have the King of Pentacles. Fire and earth work wonderfully together. The fire cleanses the earth, okay? It helps it have a new growing ground, right? That's where they have controlled forest fires. So if you let all the debris build up, you can have a fire that is just completely out of control. But if you let things burn slowly and steadily from time to time, there is a renewing of the soil, there is new growth that comes into a forest, and there is really a sense of prosperity and bounty. So there is this balance here that is coming in, and you're going to see things renewed. You're going to see passions driven. You're going to see yourself moving forward, and that is something that's going to be really beneficial to you, and it's going to bring your ideas to life. It's going to bring things to the surface because you've gotten rid of the muck and the mire. It says here, and how you've gotten rid of the muck and the mire is with the moth spirit. It says surrender now. Surrender now and let go of the hurts, the pains, the disappointments that have defined you for so long. I mean, I can remember when I was in third grade, the nasty things teacher said, or, this and that. And here it's kind of like, let it go. Let it stop defining you. And I'll tell you a little story and I'll compare it to me because that's the main person I have to compare things to. And the stories that I can share, openly without worrying about hurting anybody. I did third grade twice because I am, of course, the most dyslexic person you will probably ever meet. And I remember them saying to me, if you get left back, everything will be okay. You'll be healed. I couldn't be healed. I'm disabled. I couldn't be healed. And they didn't really realize that. They just thought I was lazy and, fooling and wanting attention. So here, I carried that with me for years upon years, decades upon decades. Well, not decades upon decades, but you know what I'm saying. And there is a sense of needing to let it go. Needing to let it go so that that hurt, that pain, stopped defining me. And once I did, you're going to see that you become like that Luna moth. There is some sort of brilliance to you that comes in the night, that comes in the quiet, that comes in the moments when you are with you, that lets you fly. And the hurt and the pain, the disappointment, the hardships, you communicate that with yourself. But you're not defined by it anymore. You're like, okay, I stated it. I spoke it out into the world that this hurt. And it wasn't okay. But because of that hurt, this happened and that happened and this got me to move forward. And there was a greater scheme to things. It might not be what I wanted, but there was a greater scheme. All right? And so here, surrender now. Surrender the pain now and watch yourself fly. Because with the tower crumbling, you tend to the small things. You tend to the small things. You tend to the things that might be insignificant. But that's going to be the way, the cookie crumbles, the tower crumbles. It's going to be the way that Spirit says, okay, I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone. It might seem very small. People might not understand. They might think, oh my gosh, you're making a big deal out of that, kind of buck it up. They don't get to tell you. As long as you're handling your responsibilities. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You can feel however it is that you need to feel. As long as it's, you can feel anger and hate and everything like that. But try to come from a place of love because that's going to excel you so much further. And you're going to start tending to the small things. It's kind of like in a relationship. Your partner can do huge sweeping gestures, and it can be magnificent. But if they don't tend to the small things, if they don't say, I love you, if they don't give you reminders of that, you feel isolated and you feel alone. And here, this is what it's saying. Tend to the small things. To fill your world with love. To fill your world with bounty. To fill that powerful force that is you, Aries, that will help you move forward. And then this leads you to the lion spirit. It says, be generous of spirit as you start on your journey. Be generous with yourself. Be generous with what you're desiring to create within your life. Be generous with you. And as you are, you move forward in empowerment. You move forward in truth. And there's such a contrast. And I love that they're looking at each other from the puppy to the lion. So it is going to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Like a puppy, you see a puppy flopping around and stepping on its ears or, doing all those silly things. And a lion is purposeful in our minds. It's purposeful. It's, more kind of a life or death situation. And you're going to have those things come in, a very serious atmosphere come in. Let yourself move forward, but let yourself move forward in the beauty of your heart, but also in the steadfastness of your determination, in the glory of yourself, and be generous with yourself when you stumble, when things aren't going exactly as you have had planned. And this leads you to the seahorse spirit, which says, watch and wait. As the gifts of prosperity come, you're going to want things to happen a bit more quickly. You're going to want things to happen in a very certain way. Watch and wait. Step back. Things are happening in divine timing. And I know divine timing is not what we want. I was talking to my brother and I said, you get your payback. You put into the vortex what you need, as I tell you guys. And he's like, I just want a payoff. He goes, I want a huge payoff. I want things to be wonderful and bright and like elephants walking down the street in parade. He's like, that's the type of payoff I want. And I said, that's not the type of payoff you get. And he looked at me, he goes, fine, that's true, but I still want it. And that's what I'm seeing here. You still want that big payoff. You still want that power, that prestige, that sense of, look at how good things can be when you've had the fall, when you've had the hardship and the pain and the disappointment, and you've known how hard it could be. But watch and wait, because the brilliance comes bit by bit, piece by piece, and it's going to set your heart free. It's going to set you kind of on fire. And as it does, it embraces your soul, it embraces yourself, it has you moving forward, and it's going to be a blessing that you hadn't imagined, but it's going to be slow and steady and beautiful and harmonious. All right, and not the fireworks in the sky, not the parade of elephants, which I think is funny that he was talking about elephants, and we have them here, which with his trunk up, that's good luck. That's prosperity, that's good luck, that's bounty. And you have, well, you don't know here, but I would assume you have that trunk up here. You have that sense of, yes, this is your time, this is the bounty, this is the luck that you need coming, and this is the sense of making the most out of that luck. And as you do, what you have coming is the badger spirit, the sense of being fearless and being bold as you embrace your love, as you intertwine with spirit, as your heart's truth starts to come, as you start to create and communicate with the universe, with the world, what you want. And this is saying, communicate by saying, this is where I want to be, this is where I need to be, and it's not being whiny about it. It's not saying, why isn't this happening kind of thing. It's saying you're taking the bull by the horns and you're saying, this is what I desire. And this is what I'm going to be working towards. Not that you haven't been working towards it before, don't take me wrong. What I'm seeing here is you utilizing this power, this energy, this groundedness, this passion, and being bold and being fearless and moving towards what you love, but also holding to your responsibilities, holding to your heart's truth. And as you do so, you see that truth transcends illusion. You're going to see things become more balanced, become more stabilized, become much more steady. And the illusions that you have had on the way things might go, or the fears that you have had, and we build things up in our mind. And know the thing about our mind is that our mind doesn't know when we are just simply imagining something or when we've actually lived it. So it's a bit tricky here. So when you are building things up with your mind's truth, when you are looking at things, and you could be sitting there and seeing all the different ways that you could fail, your mind isn't going, oh, this is all the different ways that I could fail, but I haven't failed. It's going, oh my gosh, I failed. This isn't what I wanted. It causes you anxiety and stress and, brings chaos. And this is where the temperance comes. It says balance, 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 balance. You're going to feel. Now, again, it depends on the time that you're looking at this reading or watching this reading. November 22nd to December 21st is going to be a powerful time for you. It's going to be a time where you embrace this transcendence. You embrace this balance. You embrace the temperance of the wind, the balance of the wind. And you learn how the smallest action, kind of like the fluttering of a butterfly's wing, can cause a tornado somewhere else or can cause a hurricane. And that type of synchronicity is going to be, is going to be powerful to you during this time. You're going to see how your actions from the past really play forward in this time. So you might be building towards this time, or you might be in this time right now. Or you might be looking at this time and saying, wow, what I did then is really having the impact now. But you're transcending the illusions of your mind to move you forward. And this brings you to watching and waiting as you bring your ideas to life, as you watch your ideas take life, take form, and you watch and you wait and you understand and you study. And this leads you to the scarab beetle spirit, which says magic works through you. This is where you get the Ace of Swords, this knowledge, this understanding. Magic works through you as you embrace this knowledge, as you embrace this understanding, as you move forward, as you move towards what you desire. There is a sense of claiming your magic, which is claiming the God's head within you. Claiming the fact that divinity lies within you, that we're made up of stardust, that we are part of this universe, and that there is something grand out there for each and every one of us. And you start to see it. It starts to become clearer. And you start to move forward in that power that leads you to being loyal to what you love as you look at the crossroads. Because your crossroads before might have been two options that you weren't too keen on. You might not have loved either one of the options set before you, and now you're starting to lead towards what you are love. You're starting to be loyal to yourself, to your heart's truth, to the opening of what you truly desire, and you're starting to see avenues open that you had maybe never even expected. And this leads you to tending to the small things, to seeing that by the simple act of watering the seeds of what you desire to create, you start to create a garden of beauty and a garden of nourishment for yourself. And you start to bring to life what you truly desire, and you move forward with a flexibility of mind and of spirit. Your subconscious message for this time from your spirit guide animal cards is the bee spirit. Sweet results await. And also, this is an entering into a paradise. This is a sense of knowing that there is more out there for you, and you embrace these sweet results, and you embrace the sweetness. It's like honey melting on your lips. It's like, wow, that is exquisite. And then we move to the chakra, your subconscious chakra message, which is personal power. You step into your personal power. You hold up your personal power and say, yes, this is my time. Yes, this is my truth. This is the solar plexus chakra that you are really embracing here. So you're going to be feeling things very strongly in your gut, and you're going to be feeling your gut reaction to things very strongly. Listen to it. Listen to it, and listen to the way that you're honing your spiritual connection, because your gut reaction is going to be one of those ways. As you step into your personal power, as you step into your truth, this then leads you to this then leads you to humility. It leads you to a sense of knowing, a sense of humbleness, because you are connected to something so much greater than yourself, and there is something so much more out there for you. That Spirit is saying, be humble. Don't think that you know it all, because you're going to find, and it's Spirit is saying you can find out rather easily, or through some mega lessons, that you don't know it all, and that divinity has a plan for you, that sometimes you can't detour. You can't kind of sit there and say, okay, I'm just going to go around this tower time. It doesn't really matter if I just keep on plowing forward. No, if you just keep on plowing forward, you're going to find that there's more trees, that there's more obstacles put into the way until it just breaks down. Until your plow breaks down and you're like, oh, I can't get any further. And you might see that things become really hard and really intense if you do that. Actually, you will see things become hard and intense if you do that. If you think that force can just push you through. This is the force of the heart. This is the force of the soul and the self, and of kindness and of understanding and of a belief that there is a greater plan. It isn't saying I'm going to force this to happen. It's saying be humble, live in grace, and you will see things start to change for the better and start to change towards your purpose. And then your subconscious message for this whole entire reading is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant, which I love this, because deers are just, they're gorgeous, and there's a key, and there's unlocking a beauty, there's unlocking a doe-eyed, I just see it as a doe-eyed innocence, and this is also a Taurus energy, a time frame of April 20th to May 20th, and you do have the King of Pentacles, so it can be a very strong Taurus energy within your life, very much coming forward, and this is subconsciously where you're headed. You're claiming your throne, you're claiming your power, but again, you're doing so. What I love is that the Hierophant isn't this forceful animal. It is a doe or a deer, a baby deer. I just feel like the song from, what is it? Not Gone with the Wind. Oh, I'm forgetting. Sound of Music is coming into my head. But you're going to see that things are progressing in a much more gentle manner, and you hold the key. You hold the key to what you want as you sit on your throne, as you embrace your power, because the Hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is represented by the Pope. And the Pope in medieval times, he was the King of Kings. He told kings what to do. And so there's a power to you here within your words, within the knowledge that you are undertaking, within the way that you are moving forward, and you hold a key. And listening to yourself subconsciously, that's where, again, meditation comes in, is going to be so profoundly beautiful. Now, you don't need to have a meditation room or hut or whatever. You need to have this sense of going into yourself. Even if you're at work, this sense of a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe. Just focus on your breath. Focus on yourself. Know that you are enough. Know that you can move forward the way that you want to. Know that every horrible experience that you have been through, every doubt, every fear, every apprehension is putting into the vortex what you don't want. And you're going to start to see a return on your investment, a return on yourself, a return on your desires. And this moves you forward to unlocking the key to where you really want to be and to the power that is you. The power to move kings and the power to embrace prosperity at its fullest. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you, and I love you all. Bye.